part two of Exodus chapter 1. Now we are at verse 11. So we're going to recap on verse 11. It says, "Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities and Pithom and Ramses." And what we were talking about is when we were going back and forth, we were talking about Exodus chapter 20, where it would say in verse 1. Okay, so verse 1 through 4, it says, And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Also in verse 4 it says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay, so the question before it had cut off, I was asking, what is a taskmaster? So a taskmaster is defined by the Merriam-Webster as someone who assigns tasks or burdens another with labor, particularly a strict or demanding person who rigorously supervises the work of others. Okay. Um, a similar term includes boss, disciplinarian, a foreman, a overseer, and a slave driver. Okay, so that is what a taskmaster is. So we're going to go to verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. All right, so and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. So he's disappointed. He's disappointed because no matter how much this king wanted to make them even more bitter and sad, turns out the king was very disappointed. And the Egyptians that he had brought with him, that was his servants, they were even grieved. They were disappointed because Yahweh continued to bless the children of Israel. They continued to multiply. So in verse 13, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. So, what is rigor? Okay, we are going to find out what rigor is. All right, let's go to our handy dandy uh, Webster Dictionary, and we are going to look up rigor. It's spelled Rigor. Rigor. Let's rigor for definition. So it says rigor, R rigor, Rigor. It is a noun, the quality of being extremely thorough. All right. Exhaustive or accurate. No, it's exhaustive. Yeah, exhaustive or accurate. It generally describes strictness, harshness, or a state of rigidity. Okay. Wow. Thorough and accuracy. Wow. Precise. Exactness. Okay. Mm. has hardship and an act of instance or condition that makes life difficult or uncomfortable, such as the rigors of a harsh climate.
I'm not gonna stay with you for long. I'm in the room next door.
I'm sorry, hold on for 1 minute. Let me pause this.